Oh boy, the internet is having a fun time arguing over this movie and what they saw. Sinners is a 2025 film directed by Ryan Coogler, who is also credited as a writer. The film follows the Smokestack brothers, both played by Michael B. Jordan. They have returned to the Deep South from their time in Chicago. Now they want to create a business and make a little money. Joining them is Sammy, played by Miles Caton, a kid who has a gift for music. The party is going well until supernatural horrors arrive at their threshold. That's a bit of a narrow description of the film, as it's more a period piece for the first hour, before turning into a horror film around the hour 12 mark. When I first saw the poster for this movie, I had thought it was a crime film of some kind. So let's start with the first half. It's nice to see any well-done period piece from a history lover's view. It serves to give the characters some depth and tries to endear us to the players. I'd say it works for some of the main characters, but it is a bit dragged out. There's moments here and there that could have been shaved that wouldn't hurt the film at all and might have made it flow better. One moment that caught my attention is this one shot where we follow a character from one building across the street to another building, and then follow another character back the same way. Now, is a one-shot charming in a way? Yes, but here it doesn't make much sense. There's nothing happening, and it just serves to drag out the scene. There are one-shots later in the film, and I believe it has 3 or 4 total. Those later ones were much more fitting and didn't break the pace nearly as much. This problem of drag is what plagues the first half of the film. Also, right at the start, the film opens up with the end, with Sammy arriving at his father's church with himself beaten and wounded. I didn't care for that, as I typically don't. It really didn't add much, outside of showing who is going to be walking away come sunrise. Now, the second half of the film I found rather enjoyable. Barring a few odd gore effects, it's fun and has some cool vampire action. I could make the argument of a scene or two lasting long or not going anywhere, but nowhere near as severely as the initial half. I've seen this film largely compared to Dusk Till Dawn, and on a very surface level I can see that. The films are rather different in the details, though. There isn't much suspense or action from the non-horror segments. Lines also were not nearly as memorable. Writing isn't terrible, but I'm going to remember segments in Dusk Till Dawn a lot longer. That being said, Michael B. Jordan did a great job in both roles, and I felt they were different enough without coming off cartoonish. Though I don't think the film would have lost anything if they had simply casted a second actor. Credit must be given to Miles Caton, as this is his first role. Honestly, it's a bold risk casting someone as arguably the main character when they have basically nothing under their belt. A few major problems did pop up in regards to plot holes. Now, maybe I missed some details, but more than a few things happened that made me ask how. I don't wish to spoil the climax of the film, and that is where problems mount. But one early on is how the hell that vampire was running through broad sunlight. He's burning, yes, but we see him go up like kindling later on, so I don't know. Also, there's these Indians who appear and then disappear. I was kinda hoping they'd pop up come the end. Finally, there's the ending credit scene that I won't spoil, but know that it's the actual ending of the film. You need to see that part for a complete closure to the story. It's not sequel bait or a gag scene, it simply brings the story to a close. Sadly, many people leave before it appears. Is Sinners something I'd recommend? Kinda yes, kinda no. It's a film that loves to indulge itself at the price of its pacing, which may hit some at different levels. For me, it's an okay flick, but not one I find myself wishing to return to anytime soon. Is it a bit overhyped? Yes. Did I hate watching it? No. It just had enough drawbacks that I won't go out of my way to sit through it again.